I am 60 years old, and I am going to tell you something it took me almost dying to learn. The secret to getting your life back is not about what you start doing. It is about what you stop. I spent 30 years as a hard man on a hard road, chasing a number, building a fortress out of work, one brick at a time. And by the time I was 55, my body was quitting on me, and my own family felt like strangers across the supper table. I have stood at too many funerals of men who worked themselves into an early grave, my own father at the front of the line, and every one of them had the same habits they would not put down. I had all of them. Here are the 7 I finally stopped, and I want you to listen close, because one of these is most likely stealing years off your life this very minute, and you cannot even feel it going. I sure could not. Nobody could tell me a thing back then. I had to learn every one of these the hard way, out here by the woods, alone, with a great deal of quiet and too much time to count up all the years I burned. You still have time I no longer have, so let me hand you the list, plain, the way I wish some old fool had handed it to me at 30. Number 1. I stopped working after the sun went down. For 30 years there was no such thing as a quitting time for me. I worked late, I carried it home in my head, I took the calls at the supper table, I lay in the dark running figures instead of sleeping. I told myself and everybody else that I was providing. What I was really doing was teaching my own body that it was never once allowed to rest. Now, when the light goes, the work goes with it. And here's the thing nobody ever tells a working man. Whatever you did not finish will still be sitting there in the morning, and the world will not have ended. The work is never finished anyway. It was never going to be finished. There is always one more thing. I just finally stopped letting it finish me first. Number 2, I stopped needing to be right. I was a man who had to win. Somebody said a foolish thing, an ignorant thing, and I had to correct it. I had to make them see it my way. You know what all that winning ever bought me? A tight chest, nights staring at the ceiling, and not one single human being who ever changed their mind because I got loud at them. Not one. People believe what they are going to believe, and you running yourself ragged trying to fix every wrong opinion in the room is about the most foolish work a man can take up. Now, when something gets my blood up, I let it sit, and I let it go. That is not me going soft. That is me keeping the one thing that turned out to matter, which is my own quiet. Every argument you walk away from is time you put right back in your own pocket. Number 3, I stopped sitting still all day long. Now, I am not talking about a gym. I never set foot in one in 60 years, and I am not about to start. I am talking about plain moving. For 30 years I sat in a truck. I sat at a desk. I sat in a chair every night until it was time to lie down. And by 55, I was stiff as old harness leather and about as useful. A body that stops moving starts closing up shop on you, slow, and it does not care one bit whether you are 80 or 40. So now I move. I split my own wood. I walk to the end of the road for the mail, whether there is any or not. I stand up when the phone rings. It is not exercise. It is just a man refusing to sit still long enough to rust. Number 4, and this one took me the longest of all of them. I stopped carrying a grudge. I had a brother named Vern, and the two of us fell out hard over money the year our father passed, the way brothers do, ugly things said in a kitchen that you cannot ever take back. And I did not speak one word to that man for 15 years. I carried it everywhere I went, the way you carry a bad tooth, always there, always ready to ache the second you forget and bite down on it. And you want to know who all that carrying was hurting? It was not Vern. He was out there living his life just fine, sleeping like a baby. It was eating me, from the inside, a little every single day. So I called him. It took me 15 years to dial a phone number that took 90 seconds to ring. We are not all mended now, I will not lie to you. But we talk, and there is a brother on the other end of the line again. Whatever it is you are holding against somebody, hear me, you are not holding it against them. You are holding it against yourself. Number 5. I stopped taking the edge off every single night. For me, it was a few drinks and the television turned up loud until I fell asleep in the chair with the light still going. I called it unwinding. It was not unwinding, it was hiding. I was numbing myself down just enough that I did not have to actually feel the day I had lived. And a man who does that, one evening after another, looks up one morning and finds that 10 years have slid by, and he was not truly awake for a single night of any of them. Now I sit out on the porch with the quiet. Even on the nights the quiet sits heavy on me. And here is what I found out. The evenings come back to you, real ones, the minute you stop drowning them. Number 6. I stopped trying to look like a success for people who did not matter. I bought trucks I did not need so the man down the road would reckon I had made it. I said yes to every job, every favor, every handshake, because I could not stand the notion of somebody, anybody, thinking less of me. I was run ragged and sore and angry most of the time, and I could not have told you why. Here is what I know now that I did not know then. The people you are wearing yourself down to impress are not thinking about you at all. They are too busy and too worried about who is thinking about them. When I finally quit performing for strangers, I got my evenings back, and I got most of my money back too, and not one of those strangers ever noticed I had stopped. Number 7, and this is the one I would carve into the back of every young man's hand if he would hold still long enough to let me. I stopped waiting to live. My whole life I told myself the good part was coming, just up ahead, around the bend, when the number is big enough, when the house is paid off, when things finally slow down some. My wife and I talked for 20 years about taking a whole month and driving up to the lake country. No work, no telephone, just the two of us and the water. We never went. Things never slowed down. I am here to tell you they do not slow down on their own, not ever. You have to be the one to stop them. Whatever it is you keep saving for someday is just a lie a busy man tells himself so he does not have to be brave today. Tomorrow is not promised to anybody, not to you, and not to me at 60. So there they are, laid out plain. Stop working after dark. Stop needing to be right. Stop sitting still. Stop carrying the grudge. Stop numbing your evenings down to nothing. Stop performing for people who do not matter. And stop waiting to live. None of it is complicated. But do not let me fool you. Simple and easy are two very different animals, and you will have to choose every one of these again tomorrow morning, and the morning after that. If anything in here landed somewhere true, do me one favor and tap that like button. Not for me. I am long past caring about that. But so this gets shoved in front of some other hard-headed man who is busy burning his one life down the same way I burned most of mine. And then tell me down in the comments which of the 7 you already know you need to stop. Be honest about it. Nobody is grading you. I read them. And if you want more plain truth from an old man who learned all of it about 30 years too late, Subscribe and stick around a while. I am 60 years old, and I cannot buy back a single one of the years I burned chasing a number that never once, not for one day, made me happy. But yours are still yours to keep if you start setting these things down today. Do not wait until your body gives out or your luck runs dry to understand what I just told you. The evening sun is out over the trees, and I have got a porch to go sit on. You go on and start living too,